in your old age is going to be things that were difficult for you to do. You know what I'm saying? All the things that you're going to remember that you did in your old age are going to be the things that was difficult. You're going to remember every time you overcame your fears. You're going to remember every time you showed a lot of courage. You're going to remember every time you went for something and made it work. You're going to remember every time you had no way of accomplishing something and you found a way. That's what you're going to remember at the end of your life. You're not going to remember none of that shit. You're not going to remember who you was beefing with at elementary school or middle school, what your mama said, daddy said. Like, at the end of your life, you're not going to remember none of that shit. What you really going to remember is all the times you was fucking terrified, and still did it. The reason why I make music, man, is because I read a book a long time ago. It was called 12 Traits of the Greats, written by a dude named Dr. Dave Martin. And when I read that book, in it, it said, and I didn't know what I wanted to do in my life at the time that I read that book. And in the book, he says, if you are truly afraid of failing at something, then the presence of that fear may be a key indicator that you've accurately identified what you really need to be doing with your life. In simple and plain English, that means like, yo, whatever you are afraid to fail at is your destiny. If you out here trying to find your destiny and look for it, it's whatever you're the most scared to fail at. Angel cakes, it's whatever you most scared to fail at. And when I read that, I was working at a gym. I was just trying to get money. I didn't have any goal and I didn't have any plans, right? But when I read that, I was like, man, I don't think I'm scared to fail at anything. I could be a lawyer, a doctor. I could be a soldier. I feel like the military would be easy. Like I would just go to the military and just follow rules. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully survive, but just follow rules. But the only thing that came into my mind that I was scared to fail at was music. I was like, man, I would hate to fail at making music. Because you got to put yourself out there, dog, to make fucking music. You got to put yourself way out there to make music. So that was the only thing I was scared to fail at. And once I realized that was the only thing in my head I was scared to fail at, that's where I put all my energy to. You know what I'm saying? Life could really be that simple. Got to get consistent as fuck too. Absolutely. 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 Like it's life is yours, bro. This life is yours. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. At the end of your life, bro, you either gonna look back at all of Boricua Mami, what up? You either gonna look back at all the times you overcame shit, or you're gonna think back of all the things that you didn't overcome. And you're gonna think to yourself, like, damn, I wonder what my life would have been like if I would have overcame that. I wonder what my life would have been like if I would have fought for that a little more. I wonder what my life would have been like if I wouldn't have let that relationship go. I wonder what my life would have been like if I would have just gave it all I got in the moment, gave it every fucking thing I got. I wonder what my life would have been like. And that to me is the most terrible pain in the world. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm capable of like fighting for what I'm going for, fighting for my dreams, fighting for my goals, fighting for my everything I'm fighting for. It's easy for me, man, because I know that the opposite of this is very hard. And the opposite is going to my grave with regrets. Fuck that. That shit is for the birds. Whatever you want to do, bro, go for that shit. Why? Because your time is ticking. And one day soon, you're going to be gone. So why would you allow yourself to fail? You know what I'm saying? Why would you allow yourself to not do it? You know what I'm saying? What up, Sosa? How you feeling? Why would you allow yourself to live with them regrets? Man, I got no intention of living with. I don't have any regrets right now in my life. And I'm proud of that. And my job is to go to the grave like that. No regrets. Sosa, what up? I just finished showing everybody all these dope ass videos I did. Dope freestyles, dope this, dope that, everything. And now we just sitting here talking about like at the end of your life, man, the only thing that you will remember at the end of your life is all the moments that you overcame something. All the moments that you showed up and showed out. All the moments that you was fucking terrified and you still did it, bruh. You still fucking did it. No regrets. And know that I was genuinely happy. Exactly, bruh. Yup, so true. And life goes so fast. Nah, you want to see something? I can show you a moment that I was fucking terrified and I still did it. Check this shit out. This is a moment, right? We was at the Revolt Music Conference. For those who don't know, Revolt Music Conference was a conference that Diddy was hosting in Miami. All the stars in the world is there. And they have these panels. And anybody who ever been to a panel knows that panels are quiet rooms. My brother-in-law snuck me into a panel. He snuck me into the place. I didn't have a ticket. I didn't have nothing. He snuck me in. And he was like, yo, we got to find a way to get you the mic. When we go into the spot, so true, and life goes so fast. Nah, learn from an old resident where I worked. Nah, it's true. Super true. Wine Fine, what up? AJ, what up? So while we in this panel, right, my brother-in-law's like, yo, we got to find a way to get you the mic. And in my mind, I'm like, yo, there's like 150 people in here. Niggas on stage. talking about something, I can't just take the mic and start rapping in front of all these fucking people. Like, that ain't what it's, and I'm nervous. So my heart's pounding. The butterflies is running. I'm like, yo, we gotta find a way to get you the mic. I'm like, I don't know. They end up putting the microphone right next to us. My brother started tapping that shit, it was off. So they get into the end of the panel, right? And the panel has music industry executives. They got Ted Lucas, who owns Slip and Slide Records, Ghazi, who owns Empire, Fuzzy West, who owns Priority Music, Arnold Taylor, who does South Coast Music Group, and then the host. So they asked Ted Lucas a question. They was like, yo, what up, Curb Queen? My brother is dope for that. I'm gonna show you this video. This is a moment in time where I was fucking terrified. So they asked Ted Lucas a question. They was like, yo, Ted Lucas, how'd you build your business and shit like that? And he was like, yo, I know you want to know that, man, but the crowd paid a lot of money to be up in here. They want to ask some questions. We should let them ask a question. And so, like, we don't got no time. It's like, you know what? We only got time for 3 questions. So they let 3 people run in line. So a guy jumped in line, a girl jumped in line, and I jumped in line. It's 3 people now. So the guy asked his question, he sit down. The girl asked her question, she sit down. By the time it's my turn to come up, one of the helpers came up, grabbed the mic, said, we're done. And he walked away. And so I'm standing in the aisle now like, what the fuck? Like, you said 3 questions. I'm the 3rd person. I'm the only person standing up in it. So the nigga just played me in front of everybody. And that's funny, bro, because your destiny is always going to come at a price. Nigga took the mic, said, we're done. We don't got no more time. He's telling everybody. And so my brother starts screaming in the back of the room. He's like, hey, man, what the fuck? Yo, we paid a lot of money to come up in here, man. Let him ask his question, bro. Why you doing that? Don't act like that. So and the other people in the crowd start like rioting. They're like, yeah, because I'm the only person standing up. They're like, bro, let him ask his question and why you doing him like that? What the fuck? Like, let him ask his question. So the guy come back. He came back with an attitude too. It's like the universe knows, bro. It's like the universe knows, bro. And so this nigga came back, he gave me the mic, and he handed the mic to me straight in my chest. He's like, here. And the nigga put the mic straight in my chest. I'm like, all right, cool. I took the mic, and I just started. This is what happened when I got the mic. So I got the video right here. Yeah, that's this Shakiana. I don't know what you're talking about, but you should keep it regular, or you're gonna have to get the boot. All right, so here's the video. This is a moment that I'm gonna always remember because I was dead fucking terrified. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. If y'all want me to remove this young lady, I definitely will. What up, AJ? How you feeling? So look, when I got the mic, I'm like, damn, I gotta rap now. I gotta rap this verse. So I was like, all right, cool. And watch what you hear. When I say, can I rap? You're gonna hear people say no. The whole audience said no. How y'all doing, man? I appreciate y'all. How you doing, Ted? I originally came over here with a game plan to spit it for you, but I understand that you got something going on. But if I can I spit you in 16 bars? Hold my city up. These feet never giving up. Southeast to tourists living up, but you cross that bridge and you can't run picking up. All the town where the shit go down, and niggas make them rounds, and you can hear that sound and go. Drug dealers, get it off the muscle. Gorilla, straight by Joe, blow stack and make it bubble. Flip that wrist, bump from Dade County, let me talk my shit. You ain't never seen a Porsche nigga rap like this. I'm trying to feel the imprint. I was led by trick. I'm calling Millie on the dash, gonna make me switch. I'm trying to stack these diamonds like a disco brick. Drake, I started from the bottom, but I'm working my way up to let the city know I got master. OT, you and up in Winwood. See the arc, they know the shit good. Pockets come around, let it call the midtown. Go west, need a vest, out of the bend down. And I say, so you can't sleep now, but I bust to the so it just goes down, but that's the past, so it's on the point. I jam, but then I am. My feet in the sand, but it's I am. In the street with these pretty women looking at me crazy. Work to them niggas holding down another lady. Paper chasing niggas to these little Mercedes. When I hit your lady, you have to do that. Appreciate you, Sosa. Thank you, Sosa. What's your Instagram? So that shit was, I said it to say, man, like moments that you terrified of are gonna be the moments you remember, dog. Cause I was fucking terrified. If you listen to the beginning of this video, I'm like, you can hear me being nervous, and you can hear the people. I'm like, yo, can I rap for y'all? You hear people, oh no. Listen.
I originally came over here with a game plan to spit it for you, but I understand that you got something going on. But if I can I spit you in 16 bars?
You see, some people was with it, other people was not. But either way, I was fucking terrified. You know what I'm saying? I was like, this is not the kind of space to do this shit at. This is not the kind of space to do this shit at. However, at the end of my life, that's going to be one of my greatest, accomplishments, personal accomplishments. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even noticed. And either way, you went and delivered. Thank you. I appreciate that, Sosa. Straight up. And that's what I'm saying, man. Like, I'm not speaking this. I'm not one of them people that's going to sit here and try to explain and tell you to motivate you to do some shit that I'm not personally fucking doing. I'm telling you to do it, bro, because once you do it, this shit feel great, my G. Anywhere, anytime, at the time. Straight up. Anywhere, anytime. Straight up. And that's how I was at the time, too. Like, anytime somebody asks me to rap, I'm like, okay, well, I got to put that shit on because you don't got the luxury of missing out on opportunities, bro. And fear, and I always say this shit, I might put this shit on a t-shirt. Fear is a luxury. You know what I'm saying? And fear is a luxury that most of us can't afford. Anybody who's sitting there and is like, oh, I can't do that because I'm scared. I'm like, you must be fucking rich. And you must be comfortable. And you must be accomplished. And you must have done your whole life. You must be ready to die. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you talking about? Fear is a luxury, my G. And fear is a luxury that we don't have. I don't have the luxury to be fucking scared and have it stop me. I'm going to be scared on the move. I'm going to be scared while I'm walking in this motherfucker. I'll be like, yo, I'm shitty nervous right now, but hey, it's going to get done. Because the best shit in my life has come when I was fucking scared, bro. When I was terrified. And it's still the truth to this day. Fear is a compass. Fear shows you where you got to go. All the shit you're scared of is all the shit you're supposed to be doing. I'm telling you, and I'm not telling you because I'm not living it. I'm telling you because I am living it. I'm telling you because I do this shit. Every time I'm scared to do something, I face that shit. I man that shit down. And it always ends up bending for me. You know what I'm saying? But there used to be a version of me that used to like be afraid of fear. That used to be like, if I'm scared of something, I probably shouldn't be doing it because I'm scared. Because we're trying to avoid pain, dog. You're not going to leave this life avoiding pain. I hate to break it to you. You are not going to leave this life avoiding pain. Pain is a constant. As long as you breathe, you will feel pain. You know what I'm saying? The sad truth is some people breathe and feel pain. Some people breathing on respirators and all kind of machines and shit, especially during COVID. Like, the reality situation is fear is a constant. Fall in love with that shit. Fear is helpful to me because every time I'm afraid of something, it tells me exactly what I got to do. And every time I just do that shit, life get better. Things get better. Things start moving. Things start happening. Things start shaking. Man, I live an incredible life, bruh. I live an extraordinary life because I'm doing everything I'm scared to do. I'm doing everything the devil tried to convince me as a child I could not do. And that feels good, bro. That feels good, yo. I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate all this love in you. That one verse could be that one. Straight up, righteous soul. Straight up. Curb Queen, I appreciate you. Hell yeah. Fear is there to keep you in a comfortable place. Hold you back. Fear can either block your blessing or welcome new blessings. Jew Queen. You can do anything you put your mind to. I tell my kids all the time. Man, I'm happy you tell your kids that, man, because my mother told me that. You see this lady right here? This is my mother. She passed away 2 years ago, and that shit broke my heart because she was the coolest, dog. Even if she wasn't my mother, I would still hang out with this old lady, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how dope she was. You feel me? Let me find another lady like this in life. We're going to be chilling. I will hang out with you, lady. Because it's like, when you just cool, you cool. She wasn't cool like she was trying to be my friend. She was my motherfucking mother. Like, she let you know, bah, I'm your mom. I fuck shit up around here. However, you my son and you a real nigga. So we did everything together. She was my dog. You know what I'm saying? And I wish I could have done more and would have done more for her at the time. But I say all that to say, like, she told me that. You know what I'm saying? Here's a picture of me and my mother at a show that we did. Yes. This is me and my mama at a show. My sister framed this photo. This is a digital photo. My sister found a way to frame it. After she passed, she sent me this in the mail. And I was like, wow. This is at a concert that I had in Miami. We did a private show. I was the only performer. It was a live. It was just me and the band, and we was rocking out. And she came, and she was at the show. And I'm like, man, this is my lady. My mother was never one of them weird people. I was never ashamed to hit the streets with my mama. I hit the streets with my mama like nobody's business. And if a motherfucker got something to say, boy, I'll deal with you quick, because me and my mama ain't going nowhere. You feel me? Like that was my mom. That's what a mom should be. She raised the shit out of me, and then she was like, you got all the necessary essentials to live life? All right, cool. We chilling. After that, she would want to smoke joints with me and everything. Like, yo, you want to smoke? I'm like, nah, I ain't smoking. But, oh, I still have her weed to this day. She still got, there's a weed collection she had in her crib. I still got that shit. You know what I'm saying? Her ashes are right here. And it's like, but she taught me that. She used to tell me that. That's what I'm saying. Social, like, you the truth. If you instilling that in your kids, do it. Because she didn't know nothing about manifestation and law of attraction. I don't know if she did or not. But since I was small, she would always tell me, yo, whatever you believe in, you could do. Say you're strong. Whenever you're weak, say you're strong. Say I'm wise. Say you're smart. Da-da-da. She would always affirm. She was an endless believer. She believed in everything, man. She believed in anything. You came with an idea, she believed in you. You know what I'm saying? So that's what made her special. But I say that to say, man, at the end of your life, the only thing that you're going to remember is all the things you overcame. All the things. My mother is only one that is another thing. Right? She raised an amazing man for what I can see. I appreciate that, Queen Desi. Thank you. But it's okay. You doing it now. You making her proud. I'm sorry. Same here. My mother always comes first. Straight up, man. I tell people who still got their mama in their life, man, I appreciate your mama. Even if she was crazy, even if she wild, even if she beat the shit out of you and did some shit you ain't like, shit, that's the only one you got. You know what I'm saying? And she ain't had to give birth to you. And there's levels to this shit. I got a friend, his mom died a year before mine. And he was crying for his mama, but he also let me know that it was hard for him to cry for his mama because his mama was on drugs and she left him when he was 13 years old. And she came back in his life when he was a man. And then she kind of ended up dying. So it was like, he was sad when his mama died, but at the same time, it's like she had already left me as a kid. So, you know, it's kind of like that Tupac line. It's like, daddy died and I couldn't cry because my anger wouldn't let me feel for a stranger. It's real. My mom is my strongest and biggest supporter, man. For real. Curve Queen, for real. Like, mama is where it's at, bro. I don't give a fuck what nobody talking about. You know what I mean? If you were blessed to have a good mother, man, appreciate that lady, bro, because she ain't gonna be here. And when she goes, it's gonna be the weirdest shit in the world. You're gonna be like, I thought I was gonna be fine with this. And you're not. Because you begin to start doing the math, and it's like, damn, yo, this person was here every day of my life. This person was like, there was never a day I was on earth that you wasn't on earth. You was never not, you know, accessible to call if I needed advice or if I needed help with something. You was always there. So now that you're not there. And as you get older, the roles begin to switch. Like when my mother's health was declining, I felt super responsible because I was responsible for her at that point. You feel me? Like all of my mother's business, I was handling it at that point. I was paying the bills at her house. I was doing everything I needed to do. I was the one that was in control of that. So when she died of COVID in 10 days, she went from healthy to dead in 10 days. So I'm thankful that was kind of quick and it wasn't like a super long process. Some people watch their mama die over years. TD Jakes was just talking about how his mother died of Alzheimer's. And he said I saw her mind get peeled back like an onion. She began to forget faces and forget names. She forgot how to swallow. I used to have to pull food out of her mouth. And I was like, ooh, that's tough, bro. That's tough, bro. I cherish everything, every moment. She just turned 71 on April 2nd. That's what's up, man. Cherish that mama, man. Cherish her, bro. She ain't gonna be here, man. And when she goes, you're gonna feel it. There's no version where you're not. No matter how tough, dog. Cause I'm tough, bro. I feel very, very tough. Like my soul is tough. And boy, that shit floored me, dog. I was like, I knew she was gonna pass one day. When she did, it was like, so this is what this feel like. And I was lost, man. I was super lost. I don't even know how. It's like I fell into a hole I didn't even know I was next to. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit is weird. No one can teach you how to prepare for it. You're gonna need time and counseling and talking to people. And it's gonna get real weird, real fast. But I say all that to say, at the end of our lives, the only thing we're gonna remember is the things that we did right. And being fearless is always the thing to be right. That's always the good decision. Whatever you're afraid to do, like the most scary thing to you, the most scary option in all your options is normally the right one. You know what I'm saying? The one that like push you out your comfort, that's the right one. I DK how you did it because I honestly don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm an only child and she's all I have. Man, do I got any friends that are only children that lost their mom? Man, I don't even know, honestly. I don't even know if I don't know how you're gonna do it either. My older sister, she was fucking losing her mind. She couldn't sleep. She was fucked up. My sister lost her mind down there. And it's tough. I'll say this, man. I remember telling my sisters when my mother was passing, I remember telling them this. Look, be very careful. Be very careful with what you do in this time. Because whatever you do in this time is going to become a habit. It's going to become an addiction. Whatever you do in this time. Fran, what up? Whatever you do in this become a habit. It's going to become an addiction. So be very careful with what you do right now. Like if the OG just passed and if you start watching a whole bunch of Netflix or drinking a lot or smoking a lot or trying to forget this shit real quick and run out into the streets, like that's going to become your thing. That's going to become your method for coping with pain. So that's why I told all my sisters, like, be very careful, man, like with what you do right now. Don't try to run from this shit. Feel it and experience it and get over it. Because I know some people who lose their mom and they lose their fucking mind. They start drinking, they start smoking, they start fucking people out for no damn reason. They just lose their whole self. I had a friend who lost his daddy and that nigga's life went straight to the ground. I didn't understand that shit. He was a regular nigga. He was about to go on a bigger and better thing. His daddy died. That nigga's like a fucking bum now. Like crazy, cracked out, damn near like at the edge of life. One of them young dudes who's like, how you so cracked out so early, bro? Like you in your 20s, this nigga's my age. He's like fucking cracked out. And I'm like, he just lost his mind when his daddy died. Like no one can prepare you for that shit. Depends on what that person means to you in your life. You know what I'm saying? We do everything together. I know that day will come, something you cannot prepare for. You can't prepare for that shit, Curb Queen. Just enjoy that lady while you got her, man. Hug on her, tell her you love her. One thing I wish I would have done more for my mother is buy her gifts. I wish I would have bought her more gifts, you know? In the grand scheme of things, some people say materialistic things don't matter, but I just, in my heart, I feel like I wish I would have just gave you more gifts. You know, I wish I would have just gave you some things to enjoy your life. Because people like shit. Like, I'm sure she would have liked some shoes if I got it for her. I'm sure she would have liked other things if I would have got it for her. Like, that's the only thing because I spent a lot of time with her. I answered her call always. Anytime she called me, I never screamed my mama call. Never. Because I'm like, bro, if she's fucking upside down in a car right now or in a car accident and I ignore her call, I'm stupid. So I never ignore her call. I don't give a shit. I'll be like, yo, man, I can't talk right now. But I always answer it. But one thing I just wish I would have done more is I wish I would have given her some more gifts. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wish I would have just spent more money on her. Like, just a little more money. You know? It's a small thing, but it's still something that I wish I would have did. But it's small because I know I did everything else right. But it's still something I wish I would have did. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wish I would have just gave you some more gifts. I remember one time for Valentine's Day, I got her a taser. I got her some flowers and a fucking taser. Because my mom used to like to party, bruh. She used to be outside. My mother used to always go to the same club in our neighborhood in North Miami Beach, Spinningers. That was her fucking spot. Her whole Colombian, Spanish crew was up in there and they would be fucking wilding until 5 in the morning. My mama was lost for like 2 days one time. I hit the streets looking for her. I couldn't find her for 2 days. I went to the bar. I'm like, where the fuck she at? She was just at her friend's house, super drunk. Super drunk. I was like, Ma, you lit. I remember one time I got her as a taser. I think she lost it because I never found it. I was asking her, too. I'm like, yo, mama, where your taser? Where is your taser? Because I got you that taser for a reason because you be out in these streets. And she was like, oh, don't worry about it. Nah. I'm happy I didn't get you a fucking gun because I'm like, you know, can't have just random guns being lost, but I got her a taser. But yeah, I wish I would have got her more gifts. Let me see. Yeah, he lost it. My friend lost his parents in a crash and he on drugs. Damn, that sucks, bro. He lost it. Now I'm telling you. He said the homie was young, bro. Facts, I lost my mom 2019 and it changes your life. Man, Fran, I'm sorry to hear that, man. That's really tough. That's what we're talking about right now. I lost my mother 2021. So 2 years after you. But man, that's tough, bro. That's not, no one could prepare you for that. Same as to why I work hard to give my mom everything she couldn't. You got to, bro. Them little things are gonna mean stuff. It's always gonna be the little things, like the little courtesies when your mama passed, like the small little courtesies. Like my mother used to make if you wake up in my mother's house, you got breakfast. No matter who the fuck you are. If you woke up in there, she made you breakfast and she brought it to you. You know what I'm saying? That's how sweet she was, bro. She just, yo, what's up? Here's some breakfast and some coffee. Because she hooked it up for herself. And then she's bringing it to the whole house. Like, you don't got to do this. It was just nice. Really nice. Let me see. What does this one say? We save each other's cards. We go all out with them. She always says my cards make her cry. That's what's up. I like that. That's sweet. That makes me smile. Young man, 25. Yeah, that's crazy, bro. That's tough, Sosa. Sad to watch him in these streets. Nah, I'm telling you, man, like, you never know. You never know how you're going to react to that, man. But again, you know what's crazy? You know what I did recently? And this, because I was really torn about that shit, right? So a friend of mine, she sells mushrooms. I may not have a lot of good childhood memories with my mom, but I try to have good ones now with her. Exactly, because you could change that shit now. Like, and that's what I say. Like, the mama conversation is tough for everybody because everybody's mama is different. Talking about this to my homeboy, his mental when it comes to mama is different than mine because his mama was drugged out and she left him when he was 13. So he's fucked up about his mom to a certain degree. He tried to play it off, but you don't play that shit off. Not knowing that your mama was on drugs, went to another state, had another family, and left you in New York like high and fucking dry. Like, you don't forget that shit. But I say this to say, like, recent times I did this crazy thing, right? I felt like I was still like dealing and coping with the death of my mother, and I didn't feel right about it. So my homegirl sells mushrooms, like psychedelic mushrooms, right? And none of that shit interests me. I don't drink, I don't smoke. Well, I drink, but I haven't drank since 2021. You know what I'm saying? I haven't drank in 2 years just because I have a goal. And when I get to that goal, then I'm going to pop bottles. But until then, I ain't drinking nothing. And I don't smoke. I barely smoke. I exercise crazy. I eat healthy. I don't eat no meat. Like, I'm very conscious of what I put into my body, right? I don't do any kind of fucking drugs. None. I barely take medical pills and shit. I don't fuck with none of that crazy ass shit. But so my homegirl, she sells psychedelic mushrooms, and she called herself just giving it to me, giving it to all my homies, right? So we took these mushrooms. I'm like, all right, whatever. I just put them in my house somewhere, right? And it wasn't until some other friends started telling me, they was like, yo, bruh, you should do mushrooms. I'm like, nigga, I'm not one of them niggas. I don't like getting high. I'm not one of them people. Like, I don't do that shit. I'm not one of them niggas. I'm not no druggie. I don't do acid. I don't do none of that crazy ass shit, right? So the nigga was like, gotta watch how you trip. Can't be in a bad mindset. All right. So look, I was like, all right, whatever. So I started doing my research on this shit. Like, what's up with these psychedelic mushrooms? Why all my people was telling me this shit is cool? Because multiple people and multiple successful, like, some of my upper echelon homies was telling me about this shit. Like, yo, do some shrooms, bro. Like, but like, do it wisely, but do it. And also DMT. Whenever you're ready for that shit, do it. I'm like, word. So my mind started being intrigued about mushrooms and DMT. I'm like, this is some other shit. Like, whatever. Because what these people were saying, they wasn't talking about this shit like dope. They wasn't talking about this shit like, oh, it's some kind of drug or something like that. They talking about this shit like, yo, I did mushrooms and mushrooms caused me to see myself. Mushrooms brought me to myself. Mushrooms caused me to have ego death. I feel much better. Mushrooms made me confront my inner demons. I'm like, what the fuck? That don't sound like a trip to me. Like, I'm thinking niggas is doing mushrooms so they can get high and get shot out to the middle of the universe. And that's not what they saying. That's not all my partners are talking. They're like, nah, bro, this shit is like, you take these shits if you want to go on a journey of self-discovery. And I was like, word. So that piqued my interest because I'm not interested in getting, but I am interested in like tapping into my mind and coming to self. I'm with that shit. So I started doing my research, right? I'm like, all right, bet. Let me look this shit up. I looked up How to Change Your Mind. It's on Netflix. Watch it whenever y'all want to watch it. How to Change Your Mind on Netflix. Episode 2 is about psilocybin. Psilocybin is psilocybin cubensis, which is magic mushrooms, which is that psychedelic mushrooms. I watched that shit. That shit was like, dude had OCD, and they did a study on him. They gave him mushrooms. This nigga went on a whole internal journey. He died. He died in spirit, right? Died, and was reborn, whatever the case may be. But when he came out of the experience, he was done with that OCD shit. He was like, I'm done with that OCD shit. They were giving the mushrooms to people who were diagnosed with cancer, not to treat the cancer, but to treat the depression that comes upon people who are diagnosed with cancer. And I'm like, that's interesting, bro. It's like, yeah, these people get real depressed. So we give them these mushrooms so they can have an experience that grounds them and lets them know, like, yo, you good. You in a safe space, in a safe place. You feel me? So I'm like, all right, cool. So this is like all leading back to the mother conversation, right? Coping with death and pain and shit like that. So I was like, all right. My homegirl laced me up. She gave me a bunch of mushrooms. And she was like, do it in your house. Do it by yourself. You don't know how you're going to react. Follow the rules. So I covered up the mirrors. I ain't looking no mirror. I put my phone on airplane mode. I designed my apartment real comfortable and shit. So I stayed in my crib. And I did the mushrooms by myself, right? They say it take like 6 hours to go through this shit. I did the mushrooms, man. And I just felt groovy, dog. And mind you, For someone like me, that's a leap. Like, that's a big fuck. No, I don't even eat fucking meat. I don't drink. I don't do none of that shit. Not because I'm scared, because I think I'm better than that. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm better than eating fucking bacon and shit. I think I'm better than just smoking weed and getting my lips turned black and being a fucking dumbass. Like, I think I'm a little bit better because I've done it. Like, I've smoked and all that shit. I'm off of that. But I did the shrooms because I'm like, you talking about self-discovery, my G. I'm with that shit. I'm talking like I'm about to go on a Native American vision quest. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, whatever. So I sit up in here, do the mushrooms, man. For the 6 hours, I didn't feel shit. I didn't feel shit in the experience, but I did feel like happy. I was smiling the whole time. And I was like, man, but I didn't feel like I got high. I didn't feel anything. I just felt like I was very in control of myself. I'm like, these mushrooms don't do shit. And it's so crazy because I recorded my whole experience. I wrote it all down in my journal. I was like, I'm recording this shit like a scientist. Because if I do these mushrooms and I fuck around and kill myself, I want the niggas who find me in my apartment to know it wasn't suicide. It's like, I wrote it in here. I'm like, if I kill myself by accident, know it was an accident, know I was going for a mushroom trip to, unlock my mind and my potential, and I fuck around and fucked around. You know what I'm saying? But that was just it. If that's what happened, I wrote it all down. I fuck around and fucked around, and that was that. But I recorded my whole shit because I'm like, I can't take no chances. I'm in here by myself. So I wrote this whole shit out like a scientist, yo. Like, I could read this whole shit to you. Look at this shit. 6:29 p.m. I ingested 2.6 grams of mushrooms. I contemplated doing 3 grams. I started at 6:52, October 25th, 2020. Like, this shit is detailed, yo. Like, this shit is crazy detail. You feel me? I give that one to you because I would have just been dead. You see, I was like, I cover my back. I'm like, look, if I committed suicide by accident, no, that was not my intention. I was here for the long haul, and I fuck around and fucked around, and that was just it. You feel me? But I say that to say I did not do it. You feel me? I didn't read. It's a page. You want me to read it? Nah, this shit is intense. Like, this is like a lot of notes. I was writing a lot of this shit. This is good. Y'all want me to read it? Or yeah? I mean, this shit is like whatever. But so I was going through it. Just one. All right. Let me see. Whatever would have been. Okay, cool. But the first half, I didn't feel shit. I didn't experience anything. So it was like, all right, I'm gonna do mushrooms. Today's October 25th. Recording my experience. Look at this shit. Actually, I'm gonna flip the camera so y'all can see this. I wrote this shit out like I was a scientist. I was like, man, I'm not taking no chances, partner. If I fuck around and get it in, that's what it is. Let me see. They told me to set my intentions. And they told me to set my intentions. So I made sure to like set my intentions of what I wanted. So I would like to see myself for who I truly am. I would like to cope and understand my mother's passing in a healthy way. I would like to gain the strength needed to be my ultimate self. I would like them to show me my destiny. And finally, I would like them to empower my work ethic and wealth mind. Yeah, those are my intentions for it. Because I was like, yo, set your intention before you do the mushrooms and you're going to be all right. I'm like, all right, cool. Let me see, in the right place. I look forward to what God and universe has in store for me. Yeah. Recording my experience. Set the scene in my apartment, comfy seat, surrounded by my books, waters, mirror, covered in ambient music playing in my headphones, right? And look at this shit. I'm so fucking smart. Look at this shit. I really just did this shit to cover my back. Like, if I die, they'll know. Ingested mushrooms at approximately 1:18 on Tuesday, October 25th. Currently reading The Richest Man in Babylon by George S. Clayson. Currently doing a 29-hour fast from the outside world. Feeling good, all positive thoughts and vibes. Also heavily detoxed my body yesterday with an unexpected 8-mile run from 6th Ave, 125th Street to the beach. Yeah, I just ran from my house to the beach. So I'm like, all right. I ingested the Zuli recommended dosage. Zuli is my homegirl who recommended this shit to me, of 2.5 grams of golden t-shirt mushrooms. Update. It is now 4:28. I don't really feel much different. I do feel a small queasy feeling in my stomach and an impulse to smile. I do feel really good. And I'm noticing as I write this, that my handwriting isn't as neat as earlier. I'm getting higher as this shit goes on. This is fucking crazy. It's true. It was like, My shit was good here, and it's like, yo, I noticed as I'm writing this that my handwriting is not as neat as earlier. I've been reading, popping in and out of a few different books. Maybe that's why I haven't drifted off into the world of self-realization yet. I am tempted to go consume some more mushrooms, as I would like this to be an eventful trip. I'm also reminded of Zuli telling me the dosage compared to my body weight may play a factor in effectiveness. 3.5 hours in, I suppose my vision is slightly blurred. Another possible catalyst is the underlying circumstance of me fasting and not using it. So I'm trying to figure out why the fuck I'm not feeling anything. I'm like, I don't feel shit. I'm like, I don't feel anything. I was like, I didn't feel shit the first 6 hours. So essentially, I'm really just in my head right now. Do feel slightly groovy, but still very much in control. Very tempted to go get more shrooms from the refrigerator, but something inside of me is telling me to be patient. Funny how a large part of my comfort and understanding of myself comes from speaking aloud, either to myself or others. Wow, that's nice. I've been waiting for the plants to breathe or talk to me. They've done nothing yet. They have not done nothing yet. 4:46. Now, mental note, ask Zuli why I didn't feel much during the first few hours. Again, really tempted to do more now because I feel real normal. 4:51, 4:51 p.m., thinking what DMT is like. I would have already been through the experience by now. Yeah, that shit took time. I ain't feel shit. You feel me? Slightly hungry, very thankful today is low impact. A 29-hour fast on a high-calorie burning day would have been exhausting. Happy and appreciative for all that I have, eagerly looking forward to the future. Yeah, these mushrooms should have me in a good vibe. I was feeling great. Still excited for what this opportunity experience has brought me and is bringing me. Wonder what Chantel's up to. Chantel's my girl. This shit might get personal. Hold up. Nah, that's it. Thankful God has given me moments for me to understand me faithfully. Okay, either going to do more. I'm over this shit now. Okay, either going to do more mushrooms or just relax now. 4:57 p.m. Read a good amount of the book Your Dreams and What They Mean by Nearest D. It's 6:29. I have concluded I did not take enough mushrooms to go on a Native American vision quest. That's what I thought this shit was. I thought I was going on a Native American vision quest. I did not take enough mushrooms to go on a Native American vision quest. And I did not. Nothing happened. I was like, what the fuck? I got to the end of the 6 hours because they said it should take 6 hours. Got to the end of 6 hours. I didn't feel jack shit. And so I'm like, all right, I'm over this. But then I was like, you know what? I'm about to ingest more mushrooms in hopes of going on an experience within myself. Conclusion. Up to this point, 2.5 grams of Golden Teacher's mushrooms from Zuli is enough to feel groovy, but not trip. Also to be mentioned, the Golden Teacher mushrooms were given to me in July. It is now October, so possibly their effects were lessened by them being old and possibly expired. I was writing this shit out like I'm a fucking scientist. I'm nice. All right. The next batch I received much more recently and are known as Hushrooms, a.k.a. Psilocybin cubensis with a happy face. This should be interesting. Final note on the previous dosage. On top of feeling really good this whole time, I could accurately smell and almost taste many of my favorite dishes. Yeah, I was just fucking hungry, bro. All right, here we go. Hushroom. So at the end of the 6 hours, I didn't feel shit. So I'm like, man, I'm about to do some more. So I went and got some more from the fridge. So Hushroom, but I'm like, I wanted to give myself time because I didn't want to fuck around and overdose. Again, I would have just fucked around and died. Dosage amount, 2.6 grams. Definitely contemplated doing 3, but I figured if 2.6 isn't enough, I still got 3 grams in the fridge. I could do at a later time. Though I'd like to get this experience over and done with. I'm telling you, I'm not a nigga who like getting high. I just wanted to go on the trip. I wanted to see myself and feel myself the way these other niggas was talking about it. So start time, 6:52 p.m., October 25th. I actually enjoy the taste. It's pretty dry, stale texture, slight beef jerky-like. I'm grateful. As of right now, the only food in my system since 12 a.m. is mushrooms. Yeah, I was just fasting this day. And then I went on a fucking trip. I ain't gonna lie. But it still wasn't a full trip. It was like I started experiencing some other shit. That second dose, that shit had me feeling something. That was definitely different. And you could tell because my whole speech pattern changes right here. Now I start talking about we. We came here to be of service, to keep persevering, to keep showing them the way, to be enlightened and enlightened, to be afraid and show courage in the face of that fear, to be love for the world to see, feel, and understand. Yeah, my shit definitely went off course. Look at this shit. Though many may not get it the first time around and we stumble and fall, this experience is now and will always be a beautiful one. To bring music into this life is an extraordinary gift, one I am happy to deliver. A beautiful and abundant life is before me. Why wait? Live it now. Believe you are good at everything in advance because history has shown you that you are. I feel like I was meant to rock this world. Nigga, I just started spitting out fucking Instagram captions. You know what I'm saying? This shit was lit. And I have the ingredients now. Even the enemy is an ally, for it shows me where I must go, improve, and what I must do, show up. You deserve millions and billions of dollars, a happy life and wife, and a powerful music career. True purpose is in your hands. Do incredible things. The power to fix any and all things that disturb you takes only one thing: courage. I got fucking smart quick. Set the stage for your victorious, triumphant return to the greatest of all greats. And then this shit, this shit I started going ham. Look at this shit. It changed. Looking at this from the outside, this is a regular entry. Looking at this from the outside, looking at this shit definitely changed. You feel me? Fight the good fight, bring it to life. Courage to ask for more than what you feel you deserve. I'm doing this to buy a home for my family, a forever home, to build a credible life. I can do this. It's already done. Show up as my authentic self, truth, power, resilience, make you proud of me and make me proud of you. No stress, no worry. My only task is to accept all the greatness that I already am. This is a trip, yo, and bring this dope shit to life right now. Hell yeah. Gold will always find its way to the top. And I remember thinking about this. Something in my mind showed me this. I am $10 billion. I am gold. Metaphysically, you are whatever you say you are. I am a happy life. I am a successful. I am profitable. It's not like saying I am going to have it. It's saying I am it. I am $10 billion. That's my net worth. That's the net worth that I have in my mind. That's where I want to get to. And it's super possible because you got niggas that are worth $100 billion in this life. You are what you say you are. See, aren't you glad you read it? Yeah, a little bit. I needed to hear this. Nah, this is real shit. I am due diligence. I am satisfaction in all things. I am early risings and early starts. I am blessed and giving. I am strength. I am courage. I am determination. I am powerful structure. That's fucking wild, bro. Because I just put this on my wall. And this is like structure. This is powerful structure. You know what I'm saying? And there's the $10 billion I was talking about. That shit didn't leave me. That's crazy. And make my people proud every day. That was in the book too. Yeah. Shit's, Okay, hold up. I am courage. We started this conversation talking about courage. I am courage to ask, do, and keep doing. I am order. Yeah, order. I've been getting my shit together. Gold will always find its way to the top. This meant something to me. I'm trying to remember what it was, though. I am awesome, worthy. Yeah, it goes in. I am awesome. And this is what the mushroom did. Like, yo, during the mushroom experience, bro, I could not have a bad thought, even if I wanted to. I was thinking about it, too. I was like, yo, bro, I can't be thinking about this shit right now because I got shit I got to do. I got bills to pay. I got shit to do. You know what I'm saying? And then something in my brain was like, yeah, but don't worry about it. You only got like 4 things you got to do. I was like, what? And I was like, yeah, but you got so much good shit to enjoy in this life. And you only got like 4 things to do. Get the money right, get your business right, get on them stages and make your health and your family, you know what I'm saying? It's only like really 4 things. It was hard for me to have a bad thought on the mushrooms. I ain't gonna lie to you. Now I know I'm hungry, do them shits every day. I am awesome. I am worthy. I am happy and blessed. I am faithful. I am orderly. I am on time. I am honored. I am respected. I am dangerous. I am awesome. I am glorious. I am cool. I am trustworthy. I'm patient. I'm strong-willed. I'm determined. I'm fearless. I'm appreciative. I'm loyal. I'm trusting. I'm diligent. I'm persevering. I'm dominant. I'm courageous. I'm a hero. I'm prosperous. I'm divine. I'm energetic. I'm useful. I'm youthful. Yeah. Happy, loving, noble, abundant. It is now 10:28 p.m. This is the end of the day after all the tripping. It is now 10:28 p.m. October 25th. Feeling cool. I had a mini trip, I suppose. Was very much still in control of myself, but filled with an immense sense of gratitude, a renewed sense of purpose and awareness, and an overall sense of well-being, faith, focus, foresight. Not really in the way I had imagined. All my questions were subtly answered. Just because the sun rises every day doesn't make it any less of a miracle. Use this greatness you already have and unlock more greatness. And that was the end of that. This is January 13th. This is another day, another journal entry. But yeah, that's what the mushroom trip was about, man. That shit was wow. I am actually happy that I opened this up. I didn't know what was in here, so I didn't want to play myself. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I wrote in that crazy ass day. But yeah, it definitely was important. I say that to say, man, like, I'm not somebody who, I don't normally do shit like that ever, but I felt like I needed to do that. Sounds like a beautiful experience. Honestly, I recommend it. I recommend that shit to everybody. Like, yo, take mushrooms. I can't speak on acid. Don't do it. LSD, probably don't do it. Any of the other shit, don't fucking do it. Molly, this one, that, crack. I don't recommend none. I don't fucking know. I wouldn't go there if I was you, whatever. Don't do lean. But mushroom, I would say, man, look, catch a vibe by yourself. Catch a vibe however you want to. But use that shit for what people are really using it for. People are using that shit to come to self. One of my really successful friends told me he went on a mushroom trip and was like, bro, it brought me to myself. So in my research, what I've discovered is like, okay, mushrooms are for people who want to get to know and see themselves for who they are, right? Like the mushroom is going to take you into you and show you who you are. DMT is going to show you what the fucking universe is. DMT is going to show you out of yourself. DMT is going to make you this big and it's going to show you how big everything else really is. Like, yeah, DMT is it. And I haven't done DMT yet, but one of my homies, he's one of the most successful entrepreneurs in Miami. His name is Alan Drummond. This dude he owns Koyo and 100 Lucky and all these clubs down here in Miami. And he's a business partner of one of my other friends. We ended up at a party. He ended up talking to me for 2 hours about DMT. And I was like, all right, cool. I didn't see that shit coming. But he was like, yo, bro. He told me this. He said, DMT makes non-believers believers, and it makes believers non-believers. And I was like, what the fuck? How is that even possible? I can understand turning a non-believer to a believer. It's like, okay, now you got faith because you've seen some shit. But he's like, nah, it turns believers into non-believers too. Because the shit you see on the other side might not be the same shit that they taught you in church. The shit you're going to see on the other side. Like DMT, I can't remember the full name for it, but DMT is apparently a chemical that gets released in the human brain only 2 times naturally in your life. Once when you're born and once when you die. But they found out that same chemical that comes out of your brain on them 2 occasions, they could get it from like the backs of toads or something like that. So niggas take DMT, they smoke it or drink it or however they do it, and they end up on this like whole other side. Dog, talk to anybody who's done DMT and they're going to tell you how much of a life-changing experience that shit was. I'm like, whoa. So one day I'm going to do the DMT, but I recommend that mushroom shit. I only did mushrooms once, and that was my experience. It wasn't enough to go on a full trip, though. Like, I felt like I was outside the club, and I could hear the music, but I wasn't inside the club. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't in there. I was just around it. But I was around it enough to get my questions answered. I set my intentions. I had 5 things I wanted the mushrooms to show me, and the mushroom showed it to me. And the reason why I even brought this up was because we were talking about death and losing our mothers. And one of my intentions on the mushroom trip was to like cope with the passing of my mother. And when I thought about that shit during the mushroom trip, I saw this image in my mind of an open book on a table, right? And I was like, yo, God, explain to me, help me cope with the death of my mother, man, because this shit is bothering me, yo. And he was like, all I saw was, and I believe in God, so all I saw was like God's hand on an open book. I was like, explain to me my mother's situation. And all I saw was, I kept seeing things. Nobody was talking to me. I was seeing these things in my brain. My imagination was firing. So all I saw was like, yo, help me cope with the passing of my mother. And all I saw was this motion right here I'm about to show you. A book was open, and then it closed, and then these hands put this book up on a shelf and then pointed at me. And in front of my hands, I had an open book with empty pages. So essentially, my interpretation of that was God saying, you over here talking about coping with your mother's death, and all I heard was, get over it. That's all God told me. God was like, I thought I was going to have a long talk about life and this, and all I seen was get over it. God was like, this is your mother's book of life. It's closed. It's on the shelf where it belongs. That is your book of life in your hands, and you're wasting time thinking about somebody else's book of life. Don't waste any time. Your mother's life was always in my hands. Your mother's life was never in your hands. No one's life is in your hands. Your life isn't even your hands. I hate to break it to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't know when you was coming here. You didn't design yourself, and you don't know when you're leaving. You don't know what's giving you oxygen. You don't know how your body is fully functioning right now. You want to know how? Because every time you fall apart, you go straight to a doctor, and you try to get this nigga to figure you out. Like, we don't have that much control. So that's what God was explaining to me. God was like, this is your mother's book of life. I closed it. I put it where it belonged. That's your book of life. And you're wasting pages stressing about somebody else's book of life. Your mother's life was never in your hands. It was in my hands the whole time. She and I had an arrangement long before you was born. So get over that shit. And that's all I heard. Get over it. I was like, what? I expected a whole experience. And this shit was like, get over it. I was like, oh, well. And I felt good. After that, I was cool. Right now, I'm cool. I'm coped. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. If that's how God is feeling, God is like, break it over it. I'm like, oh shit, who am I to complain? You know what I'm saying? Who am I to complain now? You know, and he's right. That was her book. And they did have an arrangement. I don't know what the fuck was going on. That was y'all arrangement. I don't know how y'all was talking when I wasn't around. I don't know what agreement y'all had. Yeah, you're right. I don't know. You're right. That's dog. We are really living on borrowed time. We're living on thin air, and we don't even know it. We living in the hands of something much bigger than us. But we swear we got so much control and so much power and so much dominion. Nigga, you didn't even know. You have no idea if you're going to wake up today or tomorrow. All that fucking power and control you think you got. Nothing. We create things that can destroy us. Literally. A rock could fall on you. Dog, 150 deaths a year happen. Death by coconut. A coconut, right? If you look it up, 150 people every year die by a coconut falling and hitting them. Can you imagine how fucking crazy that is? A coconut. And that's like a well-known fact. Everybody down here know that. It's like 150 deaths a year. You know what I'm saying? That's almost one person a day for half the year. A random coconut. You feel me? A conversation I didn't know I needed, but I'm glad hearing it. Nah, man, thank you, Just Being Mesh. This is one of them things. It's like, it's real spontaneous, it's real crazy, but the reality of the situation is we're not as much in control as we want. So life is never promised. It's not. You know what I'm saying? It is not promised. Music, you can almost feel the words of the song running through your body. Nah, thank you so much. Me and my friends always did it in the house together. It had some amazing conversations. It gave you those answers, which she would have told you, that's pretty cool. Nah, honestly, man, this is one of them things that we just got to come to terms with. And that's why every time I'm on live, I do my best to motivate people to like, yo, bro, do the shit you're scared of, chase your dreams, organize your life, like take control of this shit as much as you can, because you do have some control. You can control what you eat today. You can control how you go about it. There's a lot of things you can control to the best of your abilities. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can control how you spend your time, how if you work your body out, if you choose to set a course for yourself. You know what I'm saying? You can control some things, but in the grand scheme of things, bro, this shit belongs we are all sitting in somebody's hands that's way bigger than us, bro. We don't understand we don't even understand the simple faculties of how we run independently. I mean, your body, your brain. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't even get that shit. We don't understand the tip of the iceberg yet. You know what I'm saying? So anybody who's sitting there trying to convince you that they have all the answers, that's not real. I hate to break it to you. Why? Because almost every fact that has been brought into this world has been unproven, proven again, unproven, proven again. Like, you know what I'm saying? The laws of physics were the laws of physics until the Wright brothers came around. Now we bend those fucking laws of physics every day. Oh, well, gravity stays on the ground until a plane goes, yeah, nigga. And it's going to keep doing that shit until somebody keep breaking it and breaking it and breaking it. You got the power to break it. I got the power to break it. But there are certain things that we have to understand is bigger than us. And you got to like get over your fucking self, man. Get over the ego, bro. I feel like I'm an amazing human being, but at the same time, I'm still at the mercy of God. I know there's a God bigger than me. Why? Because I can feel it. When I sit and I create things like songs and pictures and images, it just comes from something. When I go outside and I look at the trees, I'm like, I can see how a nigga did that. You know, I can see how somebody drew that, planted that, made it. Like, you can see it. You can kind of see the design. like one thing I always say is I've never met a creative person that is an atheist. I've never met a creative atheist in my life. I've never met somebody who does not believe in God, but creates things. Like who is a creative person. I don't believe in any of that God stuff, but then you over here being God, creating something with your own two hands. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've never seen that in my life, you know? And I'm not here to preach to nobody because, you know, I'm not the biggest this way or that way. I just go for what I fucking feel. Everything I hear about God from other people, I take that shit and I compare it to nature. If what you're saying matches nature, I'm with it. If what you're saying don't match nature, that could easily be bullshit. And I'm sorry. But it got to match what I see outside because this shit that I see outside is undeniable. You know what I'm saying? This is undeniable. A plant is undeniable. I don't got to believe in a nigga to see a plant and know that a plant exists. It's undeniable. And we still don't understand the mathematics of plants. Like, that shit is crazy. We don't understand it. You put a seed in the ground and something much bigger than the fucking seed comes out. Make that shit make sense. Oh, it grows. How, nigga? Oh, it just does. No, exactly. It just does. You don't... I could put a seed in the ground and something way bigger than a seed is going to come out. That don't make no fucking sense at all. That's like an elephant that's like this small, giving birth to an elephant that's enormous. That don't make sense. Things normally multiply themselves, right? I'm seeing a seed turn into something that's way bigger than a fucking seed. You know what I'm saying? I believe everything has a purpose. I believe that too. Appreciate you just being mesh. Nah, man. Also, don't stress over things you can't control. Exactly, man. Like, all these things are vital, man. But yeah, I saw on that mushroom trip, man, I experienced a bunch of stuff, but it was such a minute trip. So I would recommend doing like a maybe 2 grams or something like that. And it's weird because I don't know what was up with me, but I told my homies recently, I was like, yo, I did 2.6 grams of mushrooms and I didn't feel shit. And I was like, what do you mean you didn't feel shit? That's a decent amount of mushrooms. I'm like, I don't believe that because I didn't feel shit. I felt very much in control of myself. And then I took some more because I didn't feel shit. So I was at like 5 something. All I had in my body was mushrooms. And I was fasting. So all I had was mushrooms that day, nigga. Like, there was all I had was water and mushrooms. And I felt good, though. You know what I'm saying? Also, height and weight. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. That's what my homegirl was trying to explain to me. Height and weight and body and all these other little factors. But I recommend it. But I only recommend it after you do your own research. I did the research and I realized, okay, I'm hearing nothing but good accounts. I'm hearing nothing but like people saying great things about this fucking mushroom. All I'm hearing is people coming to self, having experiences with ego death, overcoming OCD and depression and all this shit. I'm intrigued now. You know what I'm saying? Because niggas read books for years trying to overcome some of those things and they don't do it. So I'm down. I'm down for anything that's going to strengthen the way that I move around in this planet. And me being able to move around this planet with knowledge of self is vital. That shit is essential. That shit is important. That shit is worth having. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people are making mistakes because they don't know themselves. You willing to walk inside a room and sell your soul because you have no idea how much it's worth. You know what I'm saying? You willing to walk into a room and sell your worth for much less because you don't know what you're worth. And that is a crying shame. You know what I'm saying? You have no knowledge of self, so there's no way that you're properly operating in this world. Oh, no, I'm doing good. You're doing pitifully compared to how you could be doing if you knew yourself more, man. That shit is a whole area of study in itself. And they're not going to teach you that shit in school. Because school indoctrinates you. It doesn't educate you. Indoctrination, when people indoctrinate you, they teach you what to think. Education is teaching you how to think. In school, they don't teach us how to think. They don't reward us for intelligence. They reward us for obedience. You know what I'm saying? You can clearly see I'm somebody I just didn't like school, but it was so refreshing when I get around some of these millionaires and when I started listening to other millionaires on YouTube and reading books and hearing how these people like talk about school. It's like, bruh, we don't go to school. Like, school is for the fucking birds. They're not teaching us real shit. One of my rich friends told me this shit. He was in college and he wanted to do music, and his college professor asked him one day, what are you doing? Like, why do you keep coming? Oh, I'm coming for this, that, and that. What do you love to do? Music. He said, okay, well, don't let school get in the way of your education. And that shit blew me. I was like, what? That nigga said, he's his college professor telling him this. Do not let school get in the way of your education. Because he knew that student he was talking to was supposed to be somewhere else, doing something else. And the school wasn't going to help him get there. Not this school anyway. And you change every week and you're not the same person you were last week, last month, let alone last year. Now you change every minute, bro. You're changing every time you go to sleep and wake up, you're a different person. You know what I'm saying? You're doing yourself a great disservice if you wake up trying to hold on to the same mindset that you had yesterday. You got to change your mind. Even the Bible says that. It says, be ye not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. I don't know everything in the Bible, but I like that sentence. And nigga said, don't conform for the world, homie. Renew your mind. Don't conform for the world. Transform by renewing your mind. Oof. Speaking my language, homie. You know what I'm saying? Certain shit I just like. I like that shit. And I got that shit from watching certain movies. My favorite movie is Malcolm X. And my second favorite movie after Menace to Society is Limitless. The movie Limitless with Bradley Cooper. That's my shit, bro. And niggas be like, how is that your favorite nigga? Because this dude was depressed. He was a piece of shit. He was borderline suicidal. He took a pill that opened up his mind and his whole life changed. You know what I'm saying? And it's a fictional movie, dog, but the implications are real. And it's so real. I'm reading a book right now called Limitless. You know what I'm saying? And the niggas talking about unlocking your brain. You can unlock your brain. You can unlock your brain and your whole life is going to change. When you open your eyes, bro, you will never be the same again. That's the fact. That's what we learned in The Matrix. When you watch The Matrix and seen the red pill, blue pill, that was a real representation of, yo, when you open your eyes, you can't close them. Like, once you open your eyes to some shit, you can't close it again. You know, and that's why some people who get successful lose their mind. Because they end up seeing things and coming across things and coming into contact with things that they cannot unsee anymore. And some of them things they're not okay with. You know what I'm saying? So it's a super rabbit hole we could go down. But the important thing, man, is to empower yourself with knowledge, man. Knowledge is like a light bulb. You know what I'm saying? Once you turn the lights on, you can't turn that shit back off. You're going to be bright forever. And that's beautiful. And then it sounds crazy to us because we haven't experienced. Exactly. They be like, fuck this nigga Kanye talking about with the Jewish people. La, 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 la. Mind you, I have no idea what it's like and what he has seen. You know what I'm saying? So we're all talking from ground level. They're talking at a level that they're talking from a level of access that we just don't have. That's why the word conspiracy is so crazy to me, because conspiracy is a very dismissive word. When somebody says that's a conspiracy, niggas automatically stop listening. I'm one of them niggas too. I'll be like, as soon as you tell me somebody's crazy, I'll be like, all right. Now I'm looking at you from the crazy lens, meaning I can discredit everything you're saying and it's okay. But it's like, nah, bro, it's not. Let a smart motherfucker tell you something that has the capacity to change your life, but let them have been deemed crazy or conspiracy by someone else, and you will not pick up on that frequency. You will not change your life. And you're going to be regular forever. And you're going to be sad looking at motherfuckers like me living extraordinary lives forever when you got all the same powers and all the same capacity to do whatever it is that you want. You can have whatever it is that you want. It's up to you, bro. But it's not going to happen if you're living under the boot of somebody else's belief system. All the belief system that you think you got right now, you adopted it from somebody else. Somebody laid that shit on you. Your mama told you what your name was. Your daddy told you what your last name was. Your teacher told you how old you were. Your teacher told you what red and blue and white and yellow and left and right was. But now you're walking around this world with this mentality, which ain't nothing but a big ass shopping cart of other people's shit. You know what I'm saying? I like to tell people, like, your brain is like a shopping cart at Walmart. You don't walk around Walmart with your whole family. By the time you get to the checkout, it's going to be a bunch of shit in your cart that you did not put there. Before you check out of Walmart and before you check out of this life, dog, take some of that shit out your shopping cart. I don't think like this. I don't want to think like this. I don't want to talk like that. I don't want to act like you. Fuck you and fuck this. No, I'm not going for that. Sorry, I'm not going for that. You have to take an appraisal of your mind. You have to take an appraisal of what's in here, bro, because 90% of that shit you ain't put there. I hate to break it to you. You're not that fly. A lot of that shit was put there. Your name, you didn't even give yourself your name. You know what I'm saying? That's why I tell people I'm King Hoodie. When people ask me, they're like, oh, what's your real name? I'll be like, it's funny when you say real name, as if I didn't really open my mouth and tell you what the fuck I just said my name was. Oh, but what's your government name? Bitch, why you want to know? Do you work for the government? I don't understand. If you did, you would already know my name. Furthermore, I prefer the name that I chose rather than the name that somebody else chose for me, even if that person was my parent. They didn't know what I was going to become. This is my name. You know what I'm saying? Why not? I just told you what my name was. Oh, it don't sound right to me. Cool. Nothing's going to sound right to you until it becomes popular. And once it becomes popular, then it's going to become second nature to you. So why should I be bothered about that shit right now? I remember sitting in a casting call. These niggas wanted to put me in a movie. And I was going through the script and it was like, yo, bro, what you go by? So I'm King Hoodie. He's like, all right, bro, what's your real name? Because I'm not going to call you that. I said, well, then don't call me nothing. And I think the nigga felt some kind of way. He was like, oh, well, I didn't mean it like that. I'm like, I don't know how you meant it. But I said what I just said to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's like, what can I call you that's not King Hoodie? You can call me nothing. Don't call me at all. You know what I'm saying? I just told you. You asked me what it was. You asked me what I go by, and I just told you what it was. You know what I'm saying? What I don't understand. There's no way to beat around the bush about that shit. I just told you what it was. No, what's your real name? Why? where you about to go and look me up at? It just doesn't, don't worry about it. Straight up. Yeah, sometimes I do that too. Took them words right out of my mouth. Everything is a learning process. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is power, bro. Like, I've learned the difference between knowledge and school, man. I despise school and I love knowledge. It's crazy. I love learning something because everything I learn is like a different bullet. That's like my brain, or I'm a gun, and all the knowledge is bullets, different kind of bullets. So I get to go out into the world and I get to apply pressure in all these different ways. I could talk to millionaires, and I have. I don't know if I've spoken to any billionaires yet, but I've definitely spoken to a lot of millionaires. And all these people, they're very different from the people that grew up in my community with me. Most of the people in my community, what we talk about things that are in the neighborhood, things that are of the neighborhood, things that happened in the past, gossip that are happening with celebrities and gossip that's happening with other people, whatever the news is showing us and all the problems and complications in our life. When I go and talk to these millionaires, all they talk about is ideas, groundbreaking innovations. They talk about the new thing that's coming out. Every time I talk to my friend Arturo, he tells me, yo, did you hear about this? Did you see this? Yo, do you know this guy right here? Yo, these people are doing some really interesting stuff over here with tech and IT. He's the first person that put me on Clubhouse. You know what I'm saying? It's like all these different things, like it's just different. They're different levels of conversation. You know what I'm saying? Same. Like when you talk to these people who are on, I won't say a higher level because we're technically all on the same level, but who are on a different level. We're all playing the game of life, right? But those who are playing the elevated game are playing a different game than us. And you know it because we can't understand it.